Hi, Lindsay here from the Designer Genes Company. I'm an epigenetics coach, and today I'm going to be breaking down for you the top 3 reasons why I recommend avoiding doing any sort of at-home DIY automated genetics testing. Save your money. Here's why. Reason number 1 is privacy. So first and foremost, nearly all of these companies are actually quite transparent about the fact that they are buying your genetic data. They want to know how your body works as compared to how my body works, etc., so that they can go and create things like medications, so that they can use them and sell them essentially to different companies and different projects. It's a known thing. It's been a known thing for many years. So first of all, if you've done one of those tests that I'm not going to name by name, but if you're wondering what the heck is the difference between that maybe $100 to a couple $100 at-home test that you can do and get an automated report that sounds very convincing, the difference between that and the work that I do, it's honestly apples and oranges. So as far as privacy goes, the testing that I use is completely private. In fact, you can do the entire process anonymously if you choose. There's nothing ever being sold, ever. We swear. Last week, I actually heard a story from a client who found out that they had a child from 15 years ago that they did not know about. And the way that it came about that they got contacted by this child was through one of these made-to-consumer DNA testing companies that is meant to help you connect with your family's lineage, etc. So if that's something that you're okay with and open to, with your data being sold and perhaps used for who knows what, then by all means, go for it. But I highly encourage you to do some research and dive into why are these things so cheap in the first place. But just wait, this gets better. So number 2, the second main reason that I do not recommend doing any sort of at-home automated testing for genetics is the accuracy. So let me tell you, this is something that is not a clinical grade test. In other words, in most cases, you're not actually getting to work with a practitioner who's been trained and educated deeply on functional genomics, which is basically the implication of how to use your genetics to work to your advantage. Basically, they're spitting out to you an automated report that isn't really relevant necessarily for you today. Part of that is because the number of SNPs, or single nucleotide polymorphisms, SNPs, the number of SNPs that these at-home tests are analyzing is quite limited. So compared to the testing that I use that's a clinical grade, only available through trained practitioners and clinicians, the difference is night and day. So one thing I want to make abundantly clear is that no one gene tells the story, okay? That's just simply not how the body works. Things are way more complex than that. So even if you've had like a practitioner or a doctor run some blood testing, one popular one is to look for your methylation status. So if you've ever had your doctor run 2 MTHFR genes, yes, that's what they're called. There's a lot of misinformation out there on the internet, and part of it is because many clinicians, unfortunately, only look at those 2 genes. Well, let me tell you, the process of methylation is incredibly complex. There are so many other genes that are involved. There's way more to the story. So looking at just those 2 genes, I've honestly seen more clients who have overcorrected or made themselves feel even worse by troubleshooting according to just that tiny little bit of information. The clinical grade testing that I use actually is the largest array available on the planet right now as we speak. So what that means is you're getting so much more information at your fingertips. The more information that we understand and have to read, the better and more accurate results you're going to actually be given. That makes all the difference in the world when it comes to advising you on your best lifestyle choices, supplementation, food choices, exercise choices, all the things. The more the merrier, and truly that's how the body works. The more information and insights that you have, the more accurate picture you're going to get of what's going on in the body and essentially how to optimize it. But that's not all. The third and final reason why I never recommend doing any of these automated at-home DIY tests is because of the implications, okay? So this is the difference between genetics and epigenetics. Genetics is going to tell you, okay, here's what you got, this is it. It's like you've been dealt a specific hand of cards, win or lose, it's very surface. That's actually not how the genes work. So yes, you are born with one set of genetic coding and the genes actually don't change, but their expression does change based on everything that you've done up until now in your entire lifespan. So if you're not doing a consultation with an actual human being, unfortunately, these things cannot be automated just yet. It's too complex. So if you're not having some sort of personal interaction by a trained clinician who knows how to work with functional genomics, then you're completely missing the mark. So typically what happens when you do these automated tests, they give you like a few little nuggets of information, maybe a couple of very surface suggestions, like, for example, to wear blue blocking glasses. Like, obviously that's a good thing for everyone, but it's not really a lot of things that are going to be life-changing. The magic really comes to life when you can actually understand not only how your genes are laid out or wired, so to speak, but truly how to have an impact, how to have genetic impact on your body through simple choices, like changing the way that you take care of yourself, managing stress in a different way, understanding how your hormones are wired so that you can understand where to troubleshoot when you start to have concerns. It's really in-depth, and it's unfortunately just not something that can be automated. So truly, I tell you, don't waste your money on doing any of these crappy little piddly at-home tests. I know it's very tempting, they can be very convincing, but it just doesn't make sense. There's no way a computer can understand how much medication you've taken in your lifetime, or if you've traveled internationally, or any of the things that are involved in epigenetic changes. So truly, the report that you get may not even be relevant for you today. I hate to break it to you, but I do hope that this is helpful, and I hope that it gives a better picture into the difference in the quality, the difference in the value that it's going to bring into your life, the difference in really just the overall tone. So epigenetics is incredibly empowering because we know how to steer these things in a different direction than perhaps what your grandparents did, for example. So it's incredibly liberating, and it's honestly something that I think every human being on the planet should have access to. Maybe someday we will, but till then, if you want to get started and do this for yourself, make this incredible life-changing investment for yourself, feel free to send me questions anytime about what's right for you. Thanks so much for watching.